Have you ever heard of Jean-François Gravelet, better known as Charles Blondin? Charles Blondin was a French tightrope walker and acrobat who came to the United States in 1855. He performed with a family of acrobats in New York City. One day while visiting the Niagara Falls, Blondin got a crazy idea to stretch a rope from the location of the current Rainbow Bridge across to the Canadian side and be the first person to tightrope across Niagara Falls. On June 30th, 1859, this became a reality. Blondin had advertised in advance what he was going to do. Many did not believe he could tightrope across Niagara. The day arrived, and it was reported that about 25,000 people had come to see the great Blondin perform. He performed with different theatrical variations, sometimes blindfolded in a sack or pushing a wheelbarrow across the rope, sometimes on stilts. At one point, he carried his manager, Harry Cockard, on his back. Other times, sitting down midway on the rope with a stove, he cooked and ate an omelet. It was even said that he lowered an omelet to the tourist boat beneath him, and the response was, "He makes a pretty good omelet." Other times, he would stand on a chair with only one of its legs balanced on the rope. These and so many other feats he performed to the amazement of his onlookers. It was said that a crowd that had come with skepticism and doubt was now yelling and cheering him on after seeing what he could accomplish. At one point during his performance, he quieted the crowd and asked a question. He said, "How many people here believe I can take this wheelbarrow across to the other side and back?" All shouted, "Yes, we believe you can." Then he quieted the crowd and asked another question. He said, "How many people believe I can take this wheelbarrow full of potatoes across to the other side?" All shouted again and screamed, "Yes, we believe you can do this." He then went on to ask one final question. He said, "How many people believe I can take a person in this wheelbarrow across to the other side?" The crowd again responded with cheers saying, "Yes, we believe you can take a person across in the wheelbarrow." He then quieted the crowd one more time and said, "Then who will get in?" It was said that the crowd went completely silent at that point. Those who cheered with enthusiasm and belief a moment before were silenced at the challenge. This is a perfect example of how believers react when God tilts his wheelbarrow and invites them to get in. Many find it so difficult to leave the secure ground and step in. We say we believe, we shout his word and praise his name and say, "Yes, he can do it," just like Blondin's crowd did. Yet when called and invited in, we're reluctant to step forward. In the example of Blondin's crowd, there was a real danger of getting into that wheelbarrow. If Blondin slipped or made a mistake, that would be the end of it. He was only human. But when God invites us in, we can be sure that he has all power and ability to keep us and deliver us safely to the other side. Unfortunately, many view God so many times in a way that says, if I step into his wheelbarrow, there could be real danger for me. What if God drops me? What if I crash and burn? What if he's not strong enough to get me to the other side? What if I am not able to fulfill what he's asking me to do? Many talk themselves out of stepping in simply because they really don't know the one who holds the wheelbarrow, and therefore they don't trust him. Others will not get in simply because they're happy with the life they've created for themselves, and they don't want to step off their ground that they think is so solid. But most refuse simply out of a very small and weak faith in God's power and ability. But here's the thing. Faith grows where faith is tested. Refusing to step into God's wheelbarrow keeps your faith in a shallow place of experience with the Lord. And let me explain this. Imagine somebody from the crowd stepping forward to get into Blondin's wheelbarrow. The first thing that is experienced when that barrow is pushed past the solid ground is a sense of total commitment to the one behind the wheelbarrow. Fear may come upon you. Anxiety may overwhelm you. You may even think, boy, I've stepped in it now. But there's something else that happens as well. You see, you will start to experience the strength of the one holding the handles. You will see and understand that he knows what he's doing. You will also say to yourself, I dare not try to help him out by moving or giving instruction, for that could mean my certain destruction. I will just rest and relax and trust him to take me to the other side. You cease trusting in yourself and you place it in the hands of the one holding the handles. As faith and trust build, fear diminishes. There is something else that happens as well. You will experience things that can only be experienced by taking that first step and getting in. In this example, you will see the falls at a vantage point that only a very few have ever experienced. You will feel the mist and see the power of Niagara from a place many wish they were brave enough to go, but won't. You will be alone and in communion with the one in whose hands you are in. Upon arriving at the other side, people will surround you, asking you, what was it like? You will then have a testimony to share with them, a testimony not based on knowledge, but experience. However, all of this will never happen standing on your solid ground and refusing to get into the wheelbarrow. Do you see the parallel of this earthly story to our walk with God? Is it any wonder why so many of us walk in such shallowness of faith? We hear testimonies of visiting missionaries or pastors or someone who has stepped out to go where God has led them to go, and they speak of things that God has done that amazes us. And then we say, why am I not seeing God move like that in my life? Well, the answer is simple. We're too afraid to let go of everything and get into God's wheelbarrow. We're too afraid to relinquish our control over ourselves and place it in somebody else's hands. Do you want to know him more? Do you want to see his glory working in your life? Do you want to experience the very voice of Jesus communing with you? Do you want to be able to encourage and speak to others from a place of experience? The one who loves you and died for you will accomplish this for you. You have but to desire it and ask it. He will answer this prayer because this is his will for you. So step into his wheelbarrow and buckle up. Trust him wholly and let him take you to the other side. You will not regret it.